What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's talk about Turning Point. We are going to go over the predictions for Turning Point. It seems like it's a very lackadaisical card, and it hasn't been built up too well except for a couple of decent matches. We all know, those of us who watch TNA on a weekly basis, we all know that after Bound for Glory, TNA gets extremely relaxed, and they don't care about anything else until next year, until the next calendar year. And this is the same thing because Turning Point and Final Resolution, those are nothing TNA Plus events. That's really what they are. So we have 8 matches on the card. We very well could have a pre-show match. I don't know yet. I don't know what it would be. But we've got 8 matches for this show. We don't need 8. We could have done a show with just 6 matches, really. That's just me, though. So, we have a triple threat match. Rosemary versus Zaya Brookside versus Savannah Evans. Savannah Evans will win. She is going to be starting a feud with Xia Li. So that should be cool. That'll probably be the pre-show match, I would assume. Moving on. Frankie Kazarian versus Mike Santana. Who wins? Probably Frankie Kazarian, because they're pushing him. He's got the Call Your Shot gauntlet, but they're still trying to also build up Mike Santana, having him going after, having him on his quest to becoming TNA World Champion. I'm going to go with, I want Mike Santana to win, but it seems like this is a match that's geared for Kazarian to win, if we're being honest. The main reason is, I would much rather Mike Santana and Moose continue their feud, basically, over the X Division Championship, and maybe sometime next year have Mike Santana use option C and take on whoever's going to be world champion going into next year. That's what I would do. But for all intents and purposes, my money is on Frankie Kazarian. And I hate saying that because I'm not a fan of Frankie Kazarian. I'm just not. But, Frankie's going to win this one. It just makes sense. Next, Moose versus Laredo Kid for the TNA X Division Championship. Moose is going to win. Like, why wouldn't he? Moving on. Josh Alexander versus Steve Maclin. No DQ. Steve Maclin's going to win this. I would assume they'll continue their feud up until Genesis for next year. And I guess to maybe take Josh Alexander, write him off of television or whatever, or write him off of TNA. They'll probably have Josh put his career on the line against Steve Maclin at some point, probably at Genesis next year in January. And that's probably when Josh Alexander will lose. And then he'll probably go to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I don't see him going to AEW or WWE. I just don't, because Josh Alexander is injury prone and he's old. Josh Alexander is late 30s. So between 37 and 39, or he's right at 40, or he's 40 even, one of the two. But I just don't see Josh Alexander going to WWE, mainly NXT. I just don't see him doing anything in AEW. I just don't. I mean, Mike Bailey is in AEW. Is he going to change the game? No, he's not. Hell no. So, it's just not going to happen. So, Steve Maclin will win, more than likely. Moving on. Masha Slamovich versus Jordan Grace. 2 out of 3 falls for the Knockouts World Championship. Masha Slamovich is going to win. It seems like Jordan Grace is going to leave TNA a little bit early. I don't know why. I don't know. They still could continue their feud up until Genesis, which is probably what they'll do. So, my guess is Masha will win this. Jordan, she'll probably want one more match. And I'm guessing she'll probably she'll probably do like a loser leaves TNA. And that's how they'll write her off of TNA. So they'll do something like that with her for Jordan Grace. I've said this for quite some time, that TNA has got to start rebuilding that Knockouts division. They've got to. They really need to. So hopefully they've already made, offers to bring in Indy Hartwell, Baron Corbin, and I forgot the other person who got released from WWE about a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago now. I forgot their name. It escapes me right now. But they need to bring those 3 in, and that's what they should do. I think Baron Corbin will be great in TNA, if we're being honest. If he still wants to wrestle, you could bring him in for Genesis next year. That's what I would do. Bring him in for Genesis next year. And that would make the most sense. And I still think the only believable female on the roster right now that could probably beat Masha Slamovich, or at least give her a good run for her money, is Xia Li for right now. So, there's that. Moving on. 6-way Thanksgiving turkey ball match. Whoever gets pinned or submitted must wear a turkey suit. Joe Hendry, Eric Young, Hammerstone, Brian Myers, PCO, and John Schuyler. The winner will probably be Joe Hendry. And I would love to see either Brian Myers or John Schuyler, those 2 losers, in a turkey suit. I think that would be funny because they both suck and they are jobbers. So I'm guessing it'll be either Brian Myers or John Schuyler to wear the turkey suit. Moving on. Nick Nemeth versus Eddie Edwards for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Nick Nemeth will win. That'll probably be the co-main event. Or it could be Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace. That could be a good co-main event as well. But Eddie Edwards versus Nick Nemeth, there's no heat there at all, period. There's nothing there. And I think it would make a ton of sense for this to be put in the middle of the card. Like, this is something that you would put on the card, like match 3 or match 4 of the show. So that's probably what they'll do with that. And I think it would be cool for them to come in with Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace. Because Eddie Edwards just fucking sucks. He sucks. Maybe Joe Hendry shows up here. And maybe that's how they start their feud. I'm still thinking that we are going to probably see a Nick Nemeth heel turn. That'll probably happen at Genesis. I think that'll make the most sense, is when he turns heel. So I'm guessing what they're going to do for Genesis is probably going to be Nick Nemeth versus Joe Hendry. And as we get closer to Genesis, Nick Nemeth will probably definitely turn heel. So that's what will probably happen. Moving on, main event of the evening, which is what it seems like because they are in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So it's Hardy territory, Hardy Town. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, and Ace Austin versus the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, and Kushida. 6-man tag team match. This will probably be the main event, and I'm guessing that the Hardys and Ace Austin will win. And there's that. Am I excited for Turning Point? Not really, because I only care about, at best, probably 3 matches. That would be the 2 out of 3 falls match involving Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace. The Hardys and Ace Austin, the 6-man tag. And there's one more on here. No, there's not really. There's not. It's just 2 matches I really care about. Everything else I just don't care about. I don't even care about Steve Macklin and Josh Alexander. So, there's that. But this just seems like a boring pay-per-view, if we're being honest. This just seems like a boring TNA Plus, TNA Plus event. That's just what it seems like. And I don't know why TNA gets so damn relaxed towards the end of the year. I don't know why. Like, this could have been a stronger card if they would have built it right. But, TNA's always been like, well, Bound for Glory is our biggest show, and then it takes forever for them to follow up with it. So, like, whenever it gets close to the end of the year for TNA, they don't do anything. And it's like that, same thing with AEW, and same thing with WWE. They don't do anything, but at least with WWE, they're using their Saturday night main events. They're building them up as pay-per-views. I don't know why TNA can't do the same. Because Turning Point should be better than this, but I guess they don't give a damn about it. They only care about, their big 4, which would be Genesis, which used to be Hard to Kill, Rebellion, Slammiversary, and Bound for Glory. But they should care about, all their shows, really. They should definitely care about their A shows, and they should care about their B shows, which are just basic TNA Plus events. So there's that. I'm going to go over the matches again. Savannah Evans will win the triple threat match. Masha Slamovich will retain against Jordan Grace. Joe Hendry will win the Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl. Steve Macklin will defeat Josh Alexander. Frankie Kazarian will defeat Mike Santana. Moose will retain and beat Laredo Kid. And Nick Nemeth will beat Eddie Edwards. And the Hardys and Ace Austin will triumph over the Rascals and Kushida. So, what do you guys think of Turning Point? What are y'all's predictions? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.